NERDSoul.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Let's go because we got some Soultaku, y'all. We talking about that anime. We gonna have a good time. You best believe it. You know what I'm saying? It's holiday time and it's a little bit of holiday cheer, unless you know what I'm saying. Your boy Yuji, because Yuji, he dealing with it, man. Jujutsu Kaisen got him going through. It ain't easy, you know what I'm saying, when you got a demon inside of you, you know what I'm saying, possessing your whole body, you know, your mind and soul, all making you feel bad. You replaying all of the moments back. And I ain't going front. Yuji has a whole bunch on his shoulders, but I will give him one thing in this episode. Homie says, look, as long as I got breath in my body, as long as I'm here, as long as I got the strength, you know what I'm saying, that scrimp in my back, we gonna do this. As long as I can step up to the plate, you know what I'm saying, as long as I can flex these biceps, triceps, trapezoids, or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, I'ma get in the game. And I like that he immediately was like, all right, cool. I got people to help. I can't have no pity party, man. I gotta get busy. Now, on the side, I gotta, throw a rest in peace to my man, Kento, man. Rest in peace, man. That dude was the dopeness in season 1. Season 1, he came through. He was straight up fire. That dude was untouchable. I mean, that man was, look, he had that little cowhide hatchet or whatever. He was getting busy. Whew. And for a second, I thought he was going to be all right. Well, I mean, I thought he was dead. But then when I saw him walking, I was like, oh, snap, he might be all right. And the cool thing here is we get like a little tease for a second because he walks past Mahito. And I'm like, oh, snap, Mahito. But Mahito ain't doing nothing. He was like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He ain't seemed like he was even pressed until, you know what I'm saying, until Kento got with, and surrounded, I guess, by all those like different curses. He went out like a G, man. I do say that was a beautiful send-off to show him like in his paradise, in his peaceful place. He's on the beach in Malaysia, you know what I'm saying, just, enjoying himself. And he knew, it's my time to go. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna make it. It's my time to go. I gotta leave here. But man, it ain't had to be like that, man. I mean, dude was fighting, you know what I'm saying? He fighting for his life. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, to his dying breath. He held strong, 10 toes down, and I will admit that I was caught off guard by Mahito showing up and then taking him out at the very end. I'm thinking, because if Mahito wanted to kill him, I'm like, yo, he walked right by you. He ain't do nothing. So I was like, all right, maybe Mahito ain't tripping. Because this season, we've seen villains acting different. You know what I'm saying? They haven't been as unified as I thought I'd expect them to be. You know what I'm saying? So in this one, I was like, well, maybe he gonna make it. And then when Mahito showed up behind him, I was like, oh, geez, here we go. And the way he just exploded the man, dang, rest in peace, man. This is for my homies. You know what I'm saying? But look, Mahito gonna get his, all right? Because right when that's going on, that's when Yuji gets down the steps, and Yuji like, oh ho ho, I ain't playing no more. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute, but I'm back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know Sukuna had my body for a second, but I'm back and I'm in charge and I'm ready to roll. You know what I'm saying? And normally someone who, say in season 1, I'd be like, yo, it's Mahito, you need to run, bro. Like, this ain't, this ain't for you, bro. You need backup. It's nice to see your boy stand up on his own against Mahito. He was like, psh. Like, look, you saw the fist start going up. He was like, psh, bruh, you best believe that. This is going to be a one-on-one, squad up. You know what I'm saying? Square up right now. Let's see what you got. Stand on yours. Hey, look, shouts out to Yuji. He didn't let it get him down. And the scene between him and Mahito is crazy because Mahito's like compressing them against the wall and stuff. You saw the look on, Yuji is a G. He ain't stop. He ain't give up. He was like, so? He was like, you can press this all you want. He was like, bop, bop, knocking holes in it. And dude stepped through. When they exploded through the meat hands or whatever he was trying to, he just stepped through like, yeah, so? Man, look, man, Yuji, that near-death experience changed him, man. Because he like, I got people to save. And after seeing that crater in the middle of Shibuya, he ain't there for games. We ain't came to lose. You know what I'm saying? We ain't do that. So, much love to your boy Yuji, because that fight scene, I mean, think about it. We've seen Mahito take out some very, very large and important opponents. And I mean, his arrogance and cockiness kinda has some merit to it, because the dude got power. And for Yuji to be like, let's run it. You say you strong, right? Well, let's go. Man, hey, I was watching the show like, man, let's go, Yuji. Because at first I was kind of like, I don't know, man. You just gotta, you gotta get your legs up under you, you know what I'm saying? You gotta feel right, but nope. Yuji was like, let's go. And then from the start, he's like weaving, dodging. He in the elevator, he out the elevator. Even when Mahito tried to like trick him with the people he took over or whatever, that didn't even super phase him. I mean, like, he got caught off guard. It did catch him, bro. I mean, he won't super phase. Like, Yuji is back. And I mean, he got his second win now, because they was throwing down up in that little corridor. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the claustrophobic out there, because that subway was looking real tight with them two fighting. But boy, talk about some top quality matches, bruh. I couldn't be no happier with this episode. I can't wait to see what happens next. And we even get like the beautiful moments between Jogo and Mahito wanting to like take out Yuji or whatever and see who was going to go first and playing tricks on each other. That was cool. Not even this episode, man. This season, man. Y'all just going off, man. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen, bruh. Imagine if you knew you had this kind of heat and you just won't drop it yet. Imagine like how you feeling like before the season premiere. You like, bruh, look, we been cooking. Bruh, like, this is some of the hottest animation I've seen in a season. Bruh, look, y'all might see Jujutsu Kaisen on the NERDSoul Awards. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna tell you no lies. But with this said, let me go and move on. You know what I'm saying? I want to move on to your boy, all right, Invincible. All right, Mark out there. We get to see what happened when he meet his daddy. Daddy like, I got a new lady in my life. She's out of my life. That's what he said about Debbie. And Debbie out there, she walking barefoot. You know what I'm saying? So, like, look, look, all right, hold up. Let's talk about Debbie real quick. Baby girl, you hate to see it. Debbie, you got to pull yourself together, girl. You got to pull yourself together. You can't be walking barefoot outside. It's dirt, rocks, broken glass and stuff, other sediments. You don't need that all up on your feet. You don't want the bottom of your feet like dirty and black. You ever seen somebody who the bottom of the feet dirty and you just like, Debbie, I don't want that for you, girl. I don't want it for you. Debbie, for real, I don't want your feet dirty. You know what I'm saying? You come too far. You are too dignified to have dirty feet, baby girl. Dirty feet is a no-no. We ain't doing that. We keeping our feet clean. We keeping our feet moisturized. There ain't gonna be no toe jam, and we gonna keep our toes on point. I ain't saying you gotta have a pedicure. I'm just saying clip them properly. You know what I'm saying? Keep them together. You don't need that rust on your feet, man. I don't. Debbie. Girl, look, you need to get back to yourself And I know you want to grieve, but you gotta grieve in a healthy way. Walking barefoot through the streets, that ain't a healthy way. Take it from a brother like me. I done walked across some streets, not barefooted, but I done walked on some streets. And this man, there's dog poop, homeless people peeing on the street. You don't want to walk on that. That get into your feet. It seeps into your pores and your ventricles and stuff. And then, it's not good. So, Debbie, look, take some time, but take it at home in a very, very safe way, because we can't have that. We can't lose you, Debbie. We can't lose you, girl. All right. And speaking of Debbie, it was cool to have a little moment with her and Cecil, and with her and where's Art, when Art came through. So Cecil comes through and he's like, yo, man, look, I'm trying to see how you doing. And she like, fool, you ain't fooling nobody. You mad because Invincible went off and did his own thing. I don't want the book money no more. I don't want you trying to have nothing over my head, hold nothing on me. I don't want that. And to a certain degree, I understand where she's coming from. She was like, look, I don't want you feeling like you got some hold over me, or I don't want my son feeling like he owes you anything. We've already given enough. You know what I'm saying? We've given our husband and father away to you and everyone else who needed him when he was good. And then when he was bad, we feel the brunt of, because everybody else think he's gone, and we know he ain't dead. He just out there somewhere. So we just sitting here hurting. We grieving. So, bruh, I don't need this money. Give it to a charity or something. I don't need that. But the interesting thing is, maybe I don't remember it from the first season. Maybe I'm tripping, but I don't remember him being a novelist. I don't remember him having no books. I was like, hold up, he got books? But apparently, being the most popular superhero, you write a couple books, you make money, you get that book deal, you know what I'm saying? And this also explains how Debbie and Mark have been chilling for a year without, of course, dropping any dollars, because it's like, yo, how you living and you ain't making no money. So now we know it's the book money. Cecil been, buying the books and making sure they good. So that's cool. But her conversation with Art was also a touching one, because having that other perspective there about like, hey, look, I don't want you to think that you weak, especially when he called her a pet, man. That's tough, man. When someone calls you a pet, that was tough. But he's like, yo, like Omni-Man he's indestructible. So of course Omni-Man is, he's good, but no, what's strong is being vulnerable around someone like that who you can't beat up, who you can't take down. Like, that's the hard part. And he kind of gave her another way to look at her position. Like, nah, baby girl, like, you shown a lot of strength. You shown a lot of resilience. So put them shoes on, girl. No, hold up. Don't put the shoes on. First, wash your feet. You know what I'm saying? Wash them properly. Moisturize them bad boys, because we don't need no ashy feet. And then put some shoes on, girl, because it's time for you to rise. You know what I'm saying? Go on and rise, Debbie. I ain't saying you got to get it back out there, but you got to just, you got to center yourself, because right now you everywhere and you're going crazy. Just get yourself together. Now, on the side of Mark, seeing him meet his dad, I can understand the conflicting emotions that you're going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, you don't know which way is up. You want to hate your dad, you want to kill your dad, but you miss your dad, you love your dad. Because think in season 1, he's just chilling out with Adam and Eve. And all of a sudden, it's like, hey, I need you to come over here. It's like, what was going on? And it's like, hold up, my dad's fighting Immortal, and hold up, my dad's the bad guy. Hold up, my dad's crazy. What's going? So all of that happened in the matter of what? I guess it's TV time, but I guess matter of a few hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a huge way to not only stop on a dime, but turn and go completely left and then just leave out of nowhere. So he's been, he hasn't been able to get any closure either. You know what I'm saying? He ain't walking barefoot, but he is not okay. And seeing him, with his father holding his hand out, and his father, having this newfound perspective of, the Thraxans and saving them, and him going through his kind of like depression where he just wanted to just, fall into a black hole. You see that this person who the Viltrumite soldiers called the Great Nolan. So apparently he must be like some top baller or something like that. But to see that he has some type of emotion, which I'll circle back around to, is very touching, but also, it's conflicting because you're looking at this dude like, yo, man, this dude murdered thousands of people, like on the dime. He murdered the Guardians of the Globe, like on a dime. But also, there's a whole history of his heritage and his culture behind it. So it's kind of weird when you look at it, because after the soldiers show up, and we'll talk about the fight, after the soldiers show up, he asks Mark, he's like, why do I care about them? Why do I care? Why do they matter? That kind of thing. And all right, so go with me here for a second. I am not saying that Omni-Man is a good guy. I'm not saying that Omni-Man is right, but I'm not saying that, everybody put up your hearts and, turn up your lighters for Omni-Man. But imagine the crisis of conscience of someone who has come up in a society where all they do is take over and rule other places. They kill everything in their way. Any opposition gets squashed out in death. Even in their own culture. Like, you saw the Viltrumite soldiers, even in the first season, they just killed each other to see who was the strongest, to make their society better or whatever. And then when the soldiers came and they found out the Steve Harvey guy was dead, the Viltrumite Steve Harvey was dead, you heard her say, well, he was too weak to live then. He didn't deserve it. If he was that weak, he didn't deserve to live. Like, so imagine being steeped in that culture. You were raised in that culture. That if you are too weak to beat me, then you don't deserve to live. Now imagine all of a sudden this person being rushed with emotions for his son, probably for Debbie as well, and then now for these Thraxans. I can imagine him feeling like he's defective because he's not supposed to feel like this. And how weirdly traumatic must that be to all of a sudden be, I guess, infected with compassion. You know what I'm saying? Be infected with care, with love, things of that nature. Because you saw, Mark said, I'd have you. Then Nolan he like grunts, flies off, and you see a little tear. So, you know what I'm saying? When doves cry, that Viltrumite can cry. And seeing where that comes, it brings a lot of depth to Nolan. Now, am I saying that Nolan is redeemed? No. I don't know where, but it also is true that now I don't know where to put Nolan. I have no idea what to do with him, because now that I've started imagining the kind of world he's grown up in, especially now seeing Viltrumites now interacting with him one-on-one, I don't know where to put him. Maybe this is a good thing, and not saying that it's good because he killed thousands of people, but seeing that affected him, because the other Viltrumites don't care. They have no care in the world, and now you see him angry at himself for caring, wondering why he cares and what is it about me that's wrong? You know what I'm saying? And of course, we're looking at him saying, there's nothing wrong with you. You're supposed to care. Like, even Mark said, you should have felt like this on Earth. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's tough when you look at that, and it brings a lot of depth to Nolan in a very, very good way. So, speaking of remorse, I want to talk about Adam Eve for a second. My girl, she had no idea what was going to happen when she was helping people, and she's honestly doing the best that she can. Real quick before we move on to the whole, the showdown Alright, in Motown. Now, but the way she's dealing with her powers right now, I know she's got to go through this, but I hope she doesn't close everyone off. You know what I'm saying? She went home, so I guess that's good that she's gone back home, that she's, with loved ones. But I hope she doesn't close off her friends for too long. I know she has to, kind of regroup, see where she's going, how she feels. But hopefully that doesn't last too long because, Adam Eve, we need her out there. And honestly, she's probably one of the more formidable heroes in the game at this moment. But let's talk about your boy Mark. Mark and his reaction to Nolan is understandable. Also, Nolan, even though Nolan, I do think, is starting to change, he's still very manipulative. Like, very, bruh. That whole thing, don't do it for me, do it for them. Yeah, even if I say I'm doing it for them, you still gain from me doing that. Like, stop trying to front, or this whole thing like, they are in danger. Well, they're in danger because of you. And it's like, well, you like helping people, don't you? It's like, but you're doing this because you have a personal connection with. Why don't you reach out to anyone else in the galaxy out here that's strong? I'm sure there's other strong people. Why you reach out to me? You know what I'm saying? Because you knew that you had a personal connection to me, and you could use that personal connection to make me do something because you know that I love you. You know what I'm saying? It's very manipulative. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say this. Parents do this. Brothers, sisters do this. Ex-boyfriend and girlfriends do this. Like, it's very manipulative when they know that there might be even a kernel of love in your heart for them. They will come and, boy, they will manipulate the heck out of you. And it's, he draws him in because he brings him in. This is your little brother, blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, Viltrumites are coming. Well, why are they coming? Because of me. All right, well, then you need to deal with why I gotta be. And then that I'm not just going to leave these people in the lurch. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm someone who's going to help if he can help. You know what I'm saying? So he's I guess getting better because he does feel sympathy, he does feel sorrow, he does feel compassion, but he's still got a long way. He got a lot of them Viltrumite ways in him. Now, when the soldiers show up, the Viltrumite ways do come in handy, all right? Because look, they didn't call him the Great Nolan for nothing. I believe if Mark wasn't there and he didn't have to worry about Mark, or if Mark was fighting in a way where he didn't have to worry about him, I don't think Omni-Man would have had a lot of problems. Omni-Man seemed to handle those Viltrumites fairly easily. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong. He did get, he got smacked up a couple times. But it didn't seem like Nolan was struggling to beat them at all. Like, look, he smushed that dude's head in half. Then he straight sliced Steve Harvey's gut all the way open. And then the girl, man, he gave her the elbow of death. But the whole idea of like, I'm going to train you, I do think that's cool. I think that's very cool that he wants to train him so that he, in his weird, twisted way, protect Mark, even though he's the one who beat Mark to a pulp, you know what I'm saying? But due to his upbringing and his culture, that's probably what you do. You probably whip your children to an inch of their life to be like, that's how you become a real Viltrumite son. You know what I'm saying? And it's just very weird seeing that come to play. But oh, your boy Mark came through, baby. Oh yeah, you best believe that. Mark said, hey, alright. He looked over, he saw the dead Thraxans, and he knew, like, I might not make it home to see my baby. my baby. And he was like, nah, I gotta do something about this. Yo, he started hitting he dies. A little weave to the left, weave to the right, a little two-piece. Yo, he sped up. He went face up with that girl. He was like, huh, what you want? He was like, slag out. He was like, hashtag equality, baby. Bam. Yo, look, man, you love to see it. When Mark straight up let go, he told Mark to let go, and Mark let go. He did hesitate. That's why he got stabbed in the gut. But he whooped her. He fairly whooped her. He could have killed her. You know what I'm saying? He straight up won that match. Now, of course, he lost just because, like Goku and his dumb self when he lost against Frieza. Bruh, finish the job, dude. Finish the job. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow Frieza to blow up the Earth. You're going to lose. All right? Finish the job. But I loved the implications of Mark letting go, because that lets us know, oh, Mark done stepped up. Like, this ain't season 1 Mark, because even if he let go, season 1 Mark didn't seem to have any technical fighting skills. And when he let go here, it seems like, oh, Mark been working with some hand-to-hand skills. Mark been studying, some Muay Thai, some Wing Chun, something like that. Yo, he been in the lab working out. And honestly, that would be the best thing for him to do, because it's like, all right, look, I know I'm super strong, but I remember that lion dude whooped me like, like nobody's business. So I'm strong, but I need technique. It's like when the Hulk got beat by Thanos. The Hulk was strong, but he ain't had no technique. Thanos broke him down to the very last compound. So it does look like Mark been in the lab a little bit, studying, focusing on his forms, making sure that he stays proper if he ever have to get hand to hand with somebody. Also, I do like the fact that he fought the Viltrumites, because Mark needs to be taken to his limit so that he knows where he can go. On Earth, he doesn't have anyone who can fully allow him to push. So now he got a chance to push. And I mean, push he did, man. For a second, Mark was looking good. I was like, all right, Mark was looking like he wanted to stand beside Goku, Naruto. He wanted to stand beside Yuji. That's what he looked like he wanted to do. He did at first, season 1, he looked like he wanted to be a lazy bum. He wanted to just ride off the strength. But now he looked like he ready to have a battle with the gods. You know what I'm saying? Sure. But all that said, I love the mystery that we got thrown at the end with Mark listening to his father, and his father talking about read my books. And the name of one of the books is Savage Planet, Savage Beasts. And the other book title, there were 3 that you could see, but there's only 2 that you could read. The second one said The Man with the Invincible Gun. So I'm wondering if, and I mean, I'm pretty sure, I'm taking a guess, but I'm wondering if there's breadcrumbs of how to take down the Viltrumite Empire in those books. Or if not take down the Viltrumite Empire, how to weaken it, or how to beat a Viltrumite when you're not a Viltrumite. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that he left those breadcrumbs in there so that, Mark can head back to Earth and be like, yo, give it to Amber or give it to Will, or somebody be like, look, read these, or maybe give it to Cecil. I don't know, man. Cecil, I'm not against Cecil, but the dude just so secretive, and I don't know, man. He always seemed like I don't know. But with that said, give it to somebody, be like, yo, man, study these joints up, because the Viltrumites is coming. They coming. All right, we on the map now. They want Earth. They're coming. So we need to read these books, do what we can, because when they come, it's going to be a fight. And I just fought against 3 of them. Me and my dad fought against 3 of them, and it won't easy. It won't easy until I turned it on. You know what I'm saying? Because when you got that glow, your body knows. So, man, look, I'll say Invincible, they left us on a very, very great cliffhanger, and I'm ready to see what in the world they got next, because these 4 episodes have been fire. But continuing on with the fire, I have to give it up to Scavenger's Reign, man. Like, all right, so my biggest issue, I'm gonna be quick with Scavenger's Reign. I ain't gonna hold y'all forever. Look, the whole part about Kamen in the womb of this hollow that has been growing ever since he's been feeding it. And then of course him basically killing the the hollow killing Charlie, the guy that grew up in that woke up in the Demeter. I am very worried for anyone else that survives from the Demeter because of him now fusing in a way with the hollow, or becoming or going in the womb of the hollow, and what that's going to mean for when he comes out. Like, will he have any abilities, or because we know he crazy. He was already crazy on the ship. He the reason that we crash landed on this crazy planet. So I don't like it. Kamen gotta go, y'all. He do. I know y'all probably like, yo, man, you always want somebody to die. Like, yo, Kamen gotta go. They should have put Kamen in the brig when he tried to change the thing in the first place. That was Sam's fault. Sam actually, you know what? Let's keep it real. It's Kamen's fault. All right, so it's like 95% Kamen's fault, but Sam gets another 5% because Sam should have immediately put him in lockup. Immediately. Like, no question. The second this dude tried to pull some stunt changing the course when you know good and well we on a course that's safe, and you were trying to put some unstable stuff where we crash, he should have put him in lockup. He should have been in the brig or whatever they want to call it, so that we don't have to have any threats to the safety of the whole ship. So honestly, yes, Kamen is a dirtbag. He's a piece of trash to, I guess, his ex-wife. They don't really make it clear. I guess ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, and he's a dirtbag to everybody there. He's a piece of crap and he's full excrement. But Sam should have locked that dude up, man. Straight up, Sam should have locked that dude up, man. No, full stop. But I also wanted to talk about Ozzy and her cleansing herself. I thought that was really cool to see that the solution was right under their nose, and it just once again showed how, in a very weird way, this planet has a unique equilibrium. Like, everything checks something else on this planet in a way that you wouldn't expect it to. And because I'm like, oh man, they're gonna have to, find some way to heal it, or maybe like burn it off her body or something like that. And when she went to wash her shirt, those little, I guess, parasites, kind of like when people put like leeches on people or something like that, it cleaned it right off. So she took the shot and went and took a dip in the pool. And what do you know? The girl clean, full body fresh, I'm glad she ain't have no problems in any other regions of her body. I'm glad that they were all just on her arm or her back. But man, look, the way they displayed how that situation was solved is just something that I think is super cool. And having, I guess having Levi stand guard, but also getting to the point where even Ozzy was like, stand guard. And then she was like, well, no, do what you want to do. It's up to you. Like she said, I'm going to have to start dealing with you differently because you're not a robot anymore. I mean, you are a robot, but you're changing into something different. And I need to honor that and respect that, and then also modify and change how I interact with you, because you're not the same as you used to be. And I mean, of course, we can use that in our regular lives. Sometimes your relationships or people might change around you, and you have to, change to like update to what they're doing, or maybe sometimes they gotta get out of your life too. Who knows? But I do think it's a beautiful thing that they are still side by side and kind of growing and learning through this brand new change that Levi's going through. I think it's awesome. I guess the last thing I'll note from this episode is, I don't know, man. The way Ursula gaslit Sam over Kamen was kind of messed up. And at first I thought they were a good, I guess, duo to be together, kind of working. But this is like the second or third thing that she's done where I've been like, I don't know if I like how she's relating to Sam. I don't like in the last episode or episode before last where she was like, I can do this without you. And then where she gaslit him over Kamen in this episode. And then there was one where I can't remember, she said something, I think about his dead friends, where it was like about taking the stuff off of their bodies. So there's been some slight little baby disrespect here and there. I don't know if we should keep our eyes on it, but maybe we should. I just don't want to be missing no red flags. But also, I don't want to miss the yellow flags neither, because yellow be telling you slow down and people don't be slowing down. So I just want to keep my eyes open for any dumb stuff that be going on. But lastly, where do you think Sam's bug bite is going to go? Like, where do you think that's going to take us with the whole, it looks like I don't know if it's like a cloning plant or something, whatever that thing is. It took a bit of his blood and it looked like it's trying to grow another one. So we'll see what happens with that, man. I am not too pleased with it, but we'll see where that whole thing goes. Now, we got to move on. I love my Scavenger's Reign, but I also love Pluto, man, because that show, bruh, that Pluto, man, we finally see a head up fight against Pluto with Hercules. And even though Hercules is gone, or it's seemingly gone, because we haven't seen a whole destroyed body of Hercules, but it's not looking good. But we did see the main body of Hercules go down in the water, so we'll see what happens with that. But we finally have some data, because Hercules, when he went into the storm, he was like, I ain't falling for no childish tricks. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you ain't fooling me. So him being a little more straightforward, and also kind of knowing what he's, to a certain degree, what he's working with, because they have the data from when the other young man was taken, and now Epsilon watching that from Hercules and Pluto. We're starting to piece together a lot of information and maybe how to beat him, which I think is a good thing. Unfortunately, we're losing a lot of our heroes along the way. Like, we lost Adam. We hopefully will have a way to dismantle, disengage, disassemble, do something to Pluto. Because Pluto is formidable at the very least. Now, on the side of Adam, we do see his past to a certain degree through, Tenma. And we find out that Adam is basically a clone of Tenma's son. And now we pretty much got the idea that Tenma is going to be replaced, or I mean, not Tenma, that Adam is going to be fixed. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad that Adam will be fixed and replaced. I mean, not replaced, but like revived, brought back. Even if it's going to be a little bit different, we'll see what this takes him and how different Adam may be or maybe not be. But I hope that helps. I hope that helps his sister, because she's out there. She's on her own now, and I'm glad that she does have a moment to kind of like gather herself and start helping people again, because that's what she's really good. That's where her passion is at. But she needs her brother, yo. She definitely needs her brother. So seeing where Dr. Tema is I don't know, will hopefully maybe have Adam back in the condition that we knew Adam. You know what I'm saying? But the I guess the wealth of this episode was on Gazette, and of course the whole Haas family. Bruh, that the protection of the Haas family is very intertwined with other cases that we've seen before that are kind of dovetailing back together. Like even when he brought up the I guess the security footage that they had of the other inmate, them talking about Darius the 14th, him talking about the organization that's trying to, that's anti-robot, and then juxtaposing that with how his son feels about robots. You know what I'm saying? And the way that they have to like get to the safe house with the secret messages given to Gazette. I mean, sorry, not Gazette. Given to I forgot the Mr. Haas, because I can't remember his first name now. But given to him, basically saying you need to kill him, and apparently they sent someone to make sure the job was done, because we show up and there's a dude trying to kill. There's a whole, I guess, 2 or 3 guys that were sent because there were people following the car, the police car that was behind Gazette. They took that car out, and then they ended up going face up with, Gazette, and Gazette took care of the family. The car blew up. He protects the mom and the son. That he really went above and beyond to make sure that everybody was okay. And I felt it when Mr. Haas was crying them tears, like, yo, man, thank you for saving my family, this, that, and the third. Especially when he stood right in front of him. He was like, stand in front of me. And he, the guy shot that particle cannon beam or whatever, the cluster cannon. And, he stood right there. He didn't hide. He stood right there. And he did, he took care of his duty. And he protected that man and made sure his family was straight. And even the dude had to admit, you know what I'm saying? My brother deserved that. My brother is. I was holding this on you like you're just some rogue robot that's just killing everybody. No, you guys have your own species, your own society, and my brother killed one of y'all, and he did it in cold blood just because. So he deserved that. He received that robot's family received justice. Like my brother went down, he lived by the sword, he died by that. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was awesome, an awesome realization for him to come to, especially at that moment after that whirlwind of emotion just finished going, over the mother, the son, the explosion right in front of him, the obvious attempt on his whole family's life. You know what I'm saying? It's a whirlwind, roller coaster. And after making it out, I'm glad that he didn't use that to kind of like blame Gazette further. But bust this, we got an incredible show. Like we got so much intrigue around Darius the 14th. Seeing that humans need to be replaced. Of course, him standing in front of the tribunal. We've got so much between Tenma and Ochanamizu, I think. We have a beautiful show. Like this show is awesome, man. I will say one thing. It's hard to try to watch this show from week to week because it's so good. Especially the way Blue Eye Samurai was this week. It was super hard to try to, watch this week to week. But I think the last thing I'll touch on with Pluto is the notion of the feeling of true hatred. I thought that was something that was cool, coming from Gazette and him kind of reconciling with that, because now we're finding that he probably has way more emotion or emotionality or whatever you want to call it. Or, I guess fake emotion sensors or whatever you want to call it, whatever's in robots. because it affected him in that way to that point where he did what he did. So maybe that's another evolutionary point for them, because we're talking about all of these robots being like super duper sweet robots, and they're all like on another level, and they're like the best, top quality kind of thing. So I don't know. I think that's a great part of his evolution, even if it's not supposed to be happening. But then it does also bring, it brings kind of like a threat, because robots, of course, they don't feel pain in that way. They don't, so that, you get into the kind of Terminator kind of situation. But I think it's net positive, I guess you can say. We'll see how that plays out. See how that goes with Gazette and Epsilon, who's left, and maybe Adam when he comes back. But moving on, we got, of course, Blue Eye Samurai, and I would be wrong if I told y'all, yo, I always believed in this. I would be wrong if I said, hey, this show, I always knew it would be a hit. Once again, when I saw the trailer for this, I was just like, I don't know. It might be alright. Bruh, this thing continues to deliver. We get kind of like this side quest story that sets off what seems to be its own little, I don't know, its own little arc, if you will. This whole arc with the Madam Kaji and naming your desire and everything, I thought that was beautiful. But the way the brothel is going to play out with 1,000 Claws and Boss Hamada, we've got a lot of beef going on. A lot of beef, in a good way, but we just have a lot of beef going on, and we got a lot to worry about. And man, look, the way they ended this episode had me on some, yo, how they gonna win? Ringo do got some skills, but he only got a whole crew, and I don't know if Mizu can take all of them, because as we've seen in this animated series, yo, Mizu take damage, and she gotta recover from that. Now at the same time, she might be able to handle a good number of them, because she can take off the weights and go straight, Gangnam Style on all of them. No, I'm just playing. But seeing her drop the weights, and she can move a little bit quicker. Her sword skills are, at this point, unmatched. So we'll see. We start off with the town duel, so we know that this town is no new. I guess in no way scared of a little bit of blood. So I guess that's maybe a good thing. But bruh, something gonna have to happen for her to get out of this. Now, on a sneak tip, shouts out to Fowler's prayer, if you could call it that. Fowler sort of prayed and was like, look, man, how about this? You help me out. I got a whole bunch of souls I can send to you. He was like, I don't need them. So that was weird. But in seeing them, I guess, beginning to torture Taigen, and them knowing, oh, whatever this is, it's coming, and we don't think we can stop it. It is changing what looks to be Fowler's disposition around the castle. I don't know if I think he doesn't seem scared, but he's definitely moving different. But I don't know if I'd say he's scared. Now, shouts to the flashback, or not the flashback, when Akemi's dad comes in the room, it's when fake Akemi is in there, and he's like, "Look, I'm bringing you the book of the 12 and the 20 positions." You know what I'm saying? So you can be a good wife. Look, yo, man, Ninja was mad funny. He was like, "Look, you got to know these things. He's like, you got to know these positions, so so you can make somebody happy." And I was like, "Wow, no, he didn't come in with the manual though." Like, but I mean, I guess he's a very practical man. He was like, "Look, you're gonna have to keep your man happy, and these positions, the 12 positions." He was like, those are for that's for a proper woman, but those 20, oh, the other 8 is when you get wild. You know what I'm saying? Then I guess or unless it's 12 and 20, so maybe it's 12, and then there's a whole nother 20 positions. So maybe altogether it's 32 positions. But boy, look, you might as well add 4 more and get 36 chambers. But all I'm saying is, I don't know if I could give that to my daughter, but at the same time, maybe, you know what I'm saying? He's like, "Look, you about to get married, so look, this is a part of marriage. A part of marriage is this." You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not all of marriage, but it's not none of marriage neither. You know what I'm saying? This is a part of what makes it work. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, just like, I tell my son, "Look, part of marriage is, you gotta keep your woman happy." You know what I'm saying? So you gotta figure out, which of them 12 and 20 positions she like, and you gotta, remix it up. Go and give her those positions. But oh man, but seeing the way Goro is dealing with Akemi through her search, and seeing how he's going from town to town, homie was mad patient with her. Like, on the real, I'm surprised. Well, I mean, for the sakes of the show, she ain't end up dead. But bruh, look, in real life, any of these types of girls would have been dead back then. But she, she's trying to find her man, and her man kidnapped right now. So she gonna have to just deal with that. Her man is straight kidnapped, and now we don't know when he coming back, or if he gonna be saved, because don't know. Look, like, Mizu don't even know he taken. So maybe she won't even find that out until she storms the castle, or sneaks into the castle, because Kaji said, "Hey, look, you do this for me, and I will make sure I give you the way into the castle." And she did. She held up her end of the bargain. And the way they set up the whole issue with basically the assassination was powerful, because Mizu has killed before, but I don't think, of course, Mizu doesn't kill people like that. You know what I'm saying? This is someone who did not deserve it, who was a victim, who, was powerless basically. And when she held her and, she took her out, I felt that moment, man. And her showing her hand shaking, bruh, this show is awesome. This show is really on another level in a very good way, man. I'm so glad I'm watching Blue Eye Samurai. I can't recommend it enough. This show is dope. And at the end, with the way, the way Mizu set up the frame job, and seeing that it didn't even work now, because Boss Hamada's like, kill everyone and then burn it down. We'll see where we go from here, because it ain't gonna be easy. But wrapping up, we're gonna touch on Onimusha real quick. Okay, so someone let me know in the comments what an Oni is and what a Genma is at its core, because at first I was thinking, okay, Genma, they're demons, right? And then the Oni, I guess they are like maybe angels, but I guess not, because the way the Oni sounds, or the way that Gauntlet sounds, it don't sound like they too nice or peaceful or anything like that. So I don't know if those are, a group of good I guess beings or whatever? Are they just like warring demons, or are they like maybe like mean archangels or something? Let me know the difference between Genma and Oni and what that is, because from the show it doesn't super break that down yet. But in this episode we do get straight to business, which I think is awesome. You know, the Yoshioka brothers come out and they're like, look, we glad you here. We finally got you here. We're going to kill you for what you did to us. And even, you know, Musashi's like, y'all are dead. Y'all must be different now. Y'all are monsters or possessed or whatever. And they're like, no, we're not. It's like, no, yes, you are. Don't try to hide it. You know what I'm saying? But he put on the gauntlet quick and shouts to Kaisen. Kaisen gave him that joint, was like, look, here's the gauntlet. And we'll see where that goes, because that fight, even with the gauntlet on, he was struggling until I guess he gave his self up to the Oni or whatever, and that's when he started really getting McNasty. The I guess the difference in the abilities between the brothers, you know, you have one that's super strong, you have one that has an incredible reach, you have one with super speed. He was really struggling for a second, but the fight scene, bruh, when he ended it, when he turned that brother into Swiss cheese, bruh, homie hit him with mad slice and dice up in here. You know what I'm saying? Slice to the diz ice. But I mean, he deserved it. They all deserved it. They, you know what I'm saying? They deserved it. I'm glad. You know, yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I hope they burn. And speaking of burning, we got the fire trap that Sayo is in, or Saya. I think it's Saya. Sorry, but the way they went through trying to like knock the bell over, tip it over, and of course her singing inside the bell or chanting inside the bell, and then Kaisen, you know, basically passing on the legacy sort of you know, keeping the gauntlet and doing the, I guess, being the one on the trip to do all the chanting and everything. Because homie went into straight up like, I am the force is with me or whatever, and homie lifted that thing up like with all power in his hands, bro. He lifted that joint mightily, and he burned and he died for it, but he saved Saya, man. And that's, I mean, for me, that's what matters. He saved Saya. I wish we could have him along, because he's definitely, he comes in clutch in a fight. But I also understand, you know what I'm saying, Saya's life is way more important than his eyes. And he's like, yo, the youth, we can't lose the youth, man. The youth is the next generation. You know what I'm saying? We need them. So between chopping Denshiro into mincemeat, between sort of almost becoming an Oni and saving Sayo, we lost Kaisen. We are opened up to Yaemon and finally seeing a little bit of his plans, because he was just kind of relaxed and chilling, and apparently he has a new challenger for Musashi that was just like hanging out in the room by himself. So hanging out in the room with Yaemon. So we'll see where this goes, because bruh, they are fast approaching, at least what seems fast approaching, an end to this series. And in a way where at this halfway point, at least a seemingly halfway point, Musashi is kind of just starting to turn it on and seeing how real stuff is really about to get. And also probably uncovering way more than we just thought at first. At first it was like, oh, there's this guy, Yaemon, he's probably a demon, we gotta go up the hill, go get him. Now, it's a whole different game, baby. A whole different game. So, look, fight-wise, on point. Art, on point. Shouts to the Hawk that came in the clutch, because for a second, Musashi was in trouble. So the Hawk came in, you know what I'm saying, in the clutch and really, really helped out. And I'm on board, man. I'm so glad we got so many good shows. So of course, holla at me. I'm gonna holla at you down in the comments. Let's talk Onimusha. Let's talk Blue Eye Samurai, Invincible, all that stuff. Invincible going on the break, so who knows when we'll see that back. But NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. And until the next time, that you have to save somebody from a burning bell is for me to you saying, peace.